Thank you, Shobna ji, for inviting me here today. It's an honor to speak to all of you about the imagination of India. India has been imagined and reimagined for centuries. The courageous men and women who fought non-violently and justly for our liberty imagined a nation where all its children would be free, where none would be discriminated on the basis of their caste, gender, religion, or creed. They imagined a tolerant and fair India who would force no agenda on any of its friends or neighbors, but guide them along the path that we had traveled, a path of unity and brotherhood. And frankly, when I saw the topic of the conclave, I wondered what's happened that we need a reimagination of this beautiful ideal. True, the work of imagination is never over. It is always in constant flow, in constant flux. But what we see today in India is not a reimagination. What we see in India today is a defaming, a maligning of the Indian imagination. The Indian government has gone to war with its own people because it wants to impose one imagination on 1.3 billion of us. It wants to impose one singular suffocating memory on our 1.3 billion people. What is the nature of this war? Farmers are committing suicide by the thousands. The economy is decimated. The rupee is on its knees. Petrol is at an all-time high. The stock market has imploded. 12 lakh crore in non-performing assets, and the banking system is jammed shut. Unemployment is at a 20-year high. It hasn't been what it is for 20 years. The informal sector has been decimated as a result of demonetization and an extremely complex, multi-layered GST. Millions and millions of small and medium businesses have been wiped out. Public confidence is in tatters. This, my friends, is the price of hatred. Aspiration is slowly turning into anger. Dalits and tribals are agitating across the country. Minorities are under vicious attack. Our friends in the media are sacked because they criticize the Prime Minister. Gauri Lankesh is shot dead because of what she writes. Fresh thinking is unwelcome. In fact, forget about fresh thinking. They dislike thinkers. Raghuram Rajan, Amartya Sen, the list goes on. Institutions are attacked and destroyed. Supreme Court judges are compelled to go public because they feel intimidated. And in the same breath, they speak of their fears, they speak of Judge Loya. The sole qualification of vice-chancellors after vice-chancellor chosen to lead India's top universities is that they belong to the RSS. And many of you in this room are victimized and harassed by the authorities. You face institutionalized extortion and arbitrary cases. I'd like to ask how many of you are NRIs? I'd like to ask how many of you tell your children not to come back to India because something has gone very wrong in this country. But I won't do that in front of these cameras. Today, India is in fear. And while India burns, all they do is talk about their slogans. But their slogans have a shelf life. Make in India, Start Up India, Clean India. What exactly have these slogans translated into? Nothing. Because the people in charge are convinced that they have a monopoly on knowledge. They're convinced that only they understand, that no one in this country understands anything about India or the dreams of its people except them. They don't listen to you, they don't trust you, they don't listen to the people of India. But what is a country if it isn't a multitude of voices? What is a country if it isn't a conversation? My career in politics has been about fighting for and alongside India's most vulnerable. I fight for the dispossessed, for tribals, for Dalits, for the weak. I dig my heels in, and I have a record of delivering to these communities. I've come here because I want to be a mirror for your aspirations and your voices too. For all of you in this room, I want to fight for you too. Everyone in India is a stakeholder. All of us, rich or poor, weak or strong, north or south, east or west, every voice is a part of the harmony that makes India. We don't subscribe to black or white ideologies. We don't believe in binaries. India is a partnership between all of its people. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to talk, but also to listen. I'm here to tell you that I value what you have to say. I'm here to tell you that I trust you, and I'm extending my hand in friendship. It is time that we build our own partnership so that I can understand your interests and you can understand what I fight for. We must reimagine that old India, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Thank you.